This is KYW-TV Channel 3, Cleveland, Ohio. It is 7 o'clock. It is time now for the Eyewitness News, a 7 p.m. report. Friday, February 28, 1964. Here now, Bill Jorgensen. What are we reporting on? Bill Jorgensen in the news. What time it is? An ultimatum was handed to the Cleveland Board of Education last night by the United Freedom Movement to declare an immediate moratorium of the new segregated schools and its building of the schools around the area. Wendell Irvin, the co-chairman of the Education Commission of UFM, and its coordinator, Harold B. Williams, signed a statement expressing dismay at the school board's speed-up order for 3 new schools in the Glenville area. The schools are planned for Lakeview Avenue at northeast at Saywell Avenue, for Eddy Road northeast at Woodside Avenue, and for East 115th Street and Moulton Road northeast. The schools are to be built to relieve crowded conditions at Hazardell Elementary School at 644 East 124th Street. Pupils from Hazardell are now taken by bus to other buildings on a temporary basis. UFM also demanded that transported classes in the Turkey to Fort Worth without waiting for the start of the next grading period, March 9th. School officials have reported the officials that date for integration, which they termed diffusion. The UFM statement said, "We charge all 3 schools with being separated and unequal to the violation of the 1954 Supreme Court ruling. If the board persists in building new ghetto schools in the face of the nationwide recognition of segregation." A promising new lead in the slaying of Jewel Richard S. Richards is being investigated by the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office and Berea Police, the Plaindale alerting last night. The new lead came in as a result of a $10,000 reward posted on February 10th by the slain Jewel's mother, Mrs. Eva Burnett. Nearly a dozen tips have been given by Sheriff James J. McKettrick and his investigators since the reward was offered. Most have no wherewith leads here. The latest tip was supplied by a man who said he knew 3 witnesses to the slaying. The man had told the sheriff's office that 3 men were involved in the bludgeon murder of the wealthy Richard. They reportedly waited for him to close the shop in the Southland Shopping Center in Middlebury Heights and took him to the Metropolitan Park Reservation in Strongsville. Sheriff McKettrick and Berea Police Captain Jerome Cole had said the informant came forward last Monday. They have been investigating this information since then. The informant last night related the story to Plaindale reporter Michael D. Roberts. The informant said that he was willing to relate his story to the Plaindale because he wanted to make claim father rewarded his information led to a solution to the crime. Richard 38, who lived at the Pikeview Motel at 10590 Pearl Road, Strongsville, was found strangling the daughter in a Berea bus loop on October 7th. His head had badly been battered. This is a photo of we can't see the photo, but a 76-year-old accountant was struck by a car and seriously injured yesterday as they crossed the East 9th Street at Chester Avenue Northeast. Ernie Cusley, 13506 Arden Avenue in Southeast, was taken to St. Vincent Charity Hospital with fractures on the left hip and left leg. He's in fair condition. Cusley was crossing the street from west to east, and the crosswalk police said. Police charged the driver, 47-year-old Sven A. Langback, a structure treasurer of the Empire Park Company, with failing to yield with a pedestrian. Langback at Gates Road and Gates Mills was driving a car owned by his company. Langback was making a left turn onto Chester onto East 9th Street when his car struck Cusley, police said.
$6,000.
An all-white jury convicted Mrs. Willie Mae Mallory and 3 co-defendants on kidnapping charges yesterday in Monroe, North Carolina. The jury delayed 35 minutes. According to testimony, the defendants kidnapped a white couple in the aftermath of a race riot that waged in downtown Monroe on August 20th of 1961. Superior Court Judge Walter Brock said, according to the Associated Press, that he sentenced a group which includes a white man at 9:30 a.m. today. The maximum penalty would be life in prison under state law. All were allowed freedom on bond overnight. Mrs. Mallory, a 34-year-old Negro, fled to Cleveland following a rally and sought refuge here. For more than 2 years, she battled extradition to North Carolina and insisted that she could not get to a fair trial. Her fight was carried to the U.S. Supreme Court 3 times with a financial backing of civil rights supporters. These 3 also were convicted of kidnapping Richard Crowder, 21 of Monroe, Harold Reed, 19 of Monroe, and John C. Larry, 23 of Flushing, New York. Lyra is white, freedom rider, and went to Monroe during the racial disturbances. A 5th person charged Robert Williams, who fled to Cuba before he could be arrested. A deposition from the 39-year-old Williams was read in court yesterday. It contained this version in the incident. Williams contended that the kidnapped couple, Mr. and Mrs. G. Bruce Steckel from Marshville near Monroe, sought refuge to his house after they were threatened by Negro demonstrators. Mrs. Steckel was recalled to the witness stand to rebut the deposition. She said that the only reason she went to Williams' house was because someone pressed with a gun in her back.
So you're down to $1,850 there. The E's. What now?
Earlier testimony in the trial brought out that the Steggles were held for 3.5 hours as ransom from freedom riders who was arrested in a demonstration. At acclamation in the state's case yesterday. Judge Buck denied a defense motion for dismissal on grounds of insufficient evidence. He also denied a motion for mistrial. The defendants took the verdict calmly. The state said that the Stagels were kidnapped to the door of the Negro section. Testimony indicated that lawyers drove the Stagel car from the middle of the street. Miami Beach, Florida, when an unequivocal stand for a strong civil rights program and an introspective definition of the kind of man who should be in the President of the United States. Lyndon B. Johnson last night over his campaign to remain the chief president in the White House.
Yeah.
Scheduled merely as his first political speech since November 22nd. The remarks that President Johnson did several thousand Democrats who paid $100 a plate to
We can do the three of them.
hear him in the ornate Fontainebleau Hotel actually turned out to be as much as disclosure of his beliefs as aimed as acceptance of the presidential nominee. Chattanooga, Tennessee. A report that a juror in the Hufford jury trial had violated doors not to discuss the case was aired yesterday in the chambers of the U.S. District Judge Frank W. Wilson. The plain to learn. A juror reportedly made critical remarks to other jurors about defense lawyers. Shouted at the judge in court, the incident occurred after another attack on defense lawyers upon Judge Wilson. Judge Wilson, who has frequently been criticized by defense lawyers, had sternly reprimanded lawyer Harry Burke, a Chattanooga member of the Teamsters President James R. Hoffa's defense staff. He then sent the jury out to the courtroom while the jury went at lawyer Jacques M. Shiver of New York most frequent criticism of the mild mannered judge. Shut him up with, Your Honor is taking a position at defense attorneys and chicaners and tricksters in front of the jury. Later after the noon recess, Hoffa's legal team Captain James Hargrave of Detroit requested Judge Wilson to meet the lawyers in his chambers on a matter involving in the jury. It was reported that a defense lawyer told Judge Wilson that the jury from its position in the room and hallway outside in the courtroom heard Shiver's outbursts against the judge. The judge was told of the alleged remark by a juror. According to reliable reports, Judge Wilson demanded a blonde, ponytailed scientist back from a long stay in the African wilds from Washington said yesterday in D.C. that chimpanzees apparently regard humans as inferior creatures in the same class as baboons. Biologist Jane Goodall, a pretty 29-year-old Briton who worked along with the chimps, reported also that they developed their own some living techniques resembling human ones. For example, she said they make ingenious drinking utensils from crop leaves and use leaves as napkins to wipe their sticky hands after eating them, so they steal blankets from researchers sensitive not for the use as bedclothes and the males display a courtship spark when love blooms. Miss Goodall, a tan, slender girl, has spent most of the last 3.5 years in the 8 countries of East Africa, especially for 30 square miles of forest valleys and treeless ridges of Tanganyika's Gum Stream Reserve. She is here to give the lecture sponsored by the National Geographic Society, which has supported the work. Society officials said that the English girls are the first humans to study chimps in their native habitat for any extensive length of time. After news comments, Miss Goodall said that when she first showed up in the chimp's bell back in 1960, they would have let her come within 5 years before, scrambled away, but gradually, especially during the last tour, they got really chummy, even allowing her to touch them. She said, "Would you call it feminist?" The reporter asked. "Not really," she replied in her clipped English. "It's more like a taunt. I think they looked upon me as inferior, like a baboon." Close to the panel among them, she said, they were big male, chip age somewhere between 15 and 25 years old. One she called David Graybeard, and David has an exceptionally calm disposition and their natural dignity, she says. But she said she found the chimps as much as individually as man himself.
Tonight's spa getaway.
Thus, among 60 to 100 chimps in the reserve, there are several chimps and cranky old males. Among unborn girls of refinements, chimps can influence one another's behavior by vocal calls of which they have a variety about 20, including a kind of bait and hoot. They lead a complex social life which includes a long period of care for the young and close family ties. Female beauty is not necessarily the motivation a boy meets girl among chimps. One of the most popular lady chimps out of the reserve is laced by a human standard. An ugly gal with a twisted nose who has up to 10 students courting her at a time. Jim Green will add the sports after this commercial break here on Eyewitness News.
Okay, before and after the category, they can be tricky sometimes, so keep that in mind as you're playing. And Nicole, you're going to start.
T.
And you get 2 T's, so it's a nice card.
This could be you!
And
you're working on the Soapbox Derby racer that may help you win a $75 college scholarship along with a big local process. It's not too late to enter this 1964 Soapbox Derby. Now if you're between 11 and 15 years old as of August 1st, 1964, just ask your mother or dad to come with you to your local Chevrolet dealer and sponsor the Soapbox Derby. He'll sign you up and give your free official Soapbox Derby rulebook. Long assignment for you and your friends. It's fun to build your Soapbox Derby racer, not too tough even with all the helpful hints and building plans you'll find in the rulebook. Big prizes, local fame when you're the champ. Win the Soapbox Derby in your hometown and you will win a $500 bond plus other rewards. Then on to Derby Town United States at Akron, Ohio. Fun-filled days, meeting celebrities in the big race for the World Championship for your share of $30,000 in college scholarships. Start now. Register with your sponsoring Chevrolet dealer, sponsored out of Plain Dealer and all of the greater Cleveland Chevrolet dealers.
There it is. Yeah.
L.
1L.
R.
Boy, she's on a roll here this round. 3 R's. Will she be glad she did? Oh, no! Janet.
Final clearance, Friday and Saturday only. We're at $12.95 to $19.95, now $6. Discontinued styles at Cleveland's largest shoe deal for men. It's Steven Shoes. Shoes available downtown only on downtown East 4th off Euclid Street. Goodyear tire clearance, last 2 days. Good used tires, white walls, black walls, and most sizes. First come, first serve, as well as $4.88. New treads, retreads on sound tire bodies on your own tire. Special at this family, as well as $7.88. Tustin Tire Special, $9.88 as well as $9.88 with all weather 42 to 3 down new no living guarantee. White wall bargains, best buys. Ever America's whitest white walls, both sides if you hurry it. As well as $11.98. And tubeless buys, you name it, we got it. All sizes, all types as they go. As well as $11.88. No money down during this big sale. There's a good use store near you in the greater Cleveland area. One in Parma Heights at 6709 Pearl Road, downtown East 13th and Chester Street. Third at Central at 3230 East 93rd and East at 4090 Lee Road at Harvard. There's a Goodyear store near Go Goodyear. Nobody sells Ford for less than Bob Gillian Ford, and no matter you where you look at Bob Gillian Ford at 12100 Lorraine and OR 14343. Money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you! $25 to $2,000. Quickly on sensible plans with payments you can afford. There's money now for seasonal expenses like new clothes or repairs, to pay bills, or for other purposes. We're ready to supply you the amount you want quickly on a plan that suits you. Good credit. It's your key to cash. There's no need to delay. Call us up and you can tell us how much you like. Today, if you can, for sure. You can depend on public finance corporations for good service.
Do you know how awesome your immune system is? Inside your body, special forces are fighting 24/7 for you. When it gets tough, support your awesome immune system with Airborne. Crafted with 13 ingredients for the fighter in all of us.
Okay, when you're on the job, you're making tough decisions around the clock. Well, here's an easy one. Ford F-Series. It's a fact. On average, every 42 seconds, someone walks over their hard-earned cash to get one. No wonder they're the best-selling brand of trucks in America for 37 years in a row.
Firestone's one-stop driving service, fast expert car service, world's finest tires, top quality auto supplies. Front end alignment at $5.55. Most banking cars are expert mechanics readjust the easier Toyota front wheels to manufacture original specifications using modern precisions. Instruments replacement parts of torsion bar or adjustment X-ray needed. Inside white walls, black walls. Firestone deluxe Chevy new treads, retreads on sound tire bodies on your old tires. $12 at Firestone stores around the greater Cleveland area in downtown Cleveland, Metro Ohio, Cleveland Heights, Middleborough Heights, and Northfield, Ohio. There's a Firestone tire store near you.
Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
Welcome back. Fitting is the category for this round, and it's a prize puzzle. Yeah, this is more than half car. I'd like to get that other half, I'm guessing. Let's see what happens.
Some people think it even needs service. It's easy to get that impression. How many of our makes have been driven 6,000 miles with the original pistons and cylinders attached? How many will only get 40,000 miles on the same path? That doesn't mean that Volkswagen never needs service. It does. To get the most out of it, have your Volkswagen service regularly. We call it a preventive maintenance. We'll give you a book on preventive maintenance for the first 30,000 miles. You drive and even 30,000 miles after that. In the book for new VWs, for instance, coupons start you off with a 2 free maintenance service on 1 at 300 miles, 1 at 3,000 miles. After that, the coupons remind you to bring your VW for specified services at regular intervals. It's the best way to keep your VW in top shape. Service will report that Volkswagen won't sell cars where they can be properly handled by factory trade mechanics globally. Like cars, parts are economical and quickly installed. There's a Volkswagen made that you can't get parts for easily. Most of them are changeable from year to year. You can have a 63 Fender Fund. Put out your 58 model with 10 bolts that fits perfectly. We buy themselves out so fat. Our service is good car SK Buddy. Volkswagen details Palmer, Mayfield, Lost Man and Nine Shaker. The Sports with Jim Grainer is brought to you by Firestone Tires. Here now, Jim Grainer. 40 room money, I'm Jim Grainer, here is the Night of Sports. Tucson, Arizona. Major Birdie Tibbetts opened what's called the Perpetual Boat Big Trading Camp yesterday at the Cleveland Western Door time to get it out to serious business. Perhaps purple is a slight exaggeration, but the motion was at least continuous as Birdie puts to the force of his revolutionary walking program. In walk, the players did approximately 5 miles each between the time to try it on High Corbett Field at 10 a.m. and dragged about 1:30 p.m. But surprisingly enough, there was little grumbling in the 38 candidates, and well, tomorrow may be another story for Tibbetts and Timmy and weighs a quarter. 8 men were absent for the opening pitcher Floyd Weaver, Sonny Siebert, Tom Moser, Todd McMahon, and Dick Hobbs, and outfielders Al Lumble, Bob Chance, and Tito Francola. Only McMahon and Siebert, however, are AWL. Neighbor has signed a 6-4 contact while they are unofficial holdout where March 1st, President General Manager Gabe Paul isn't sure what they are. He expected McMahon, was he not, but the right-handed Willie pitcher who told last year for Houston never showed. And Siebert, who was requested by Paul in a telegram to call me as soon as possible, still hasn't responded. Infielder Mike De La Hoz arrived late Wednesday and promptly signed. Albs and Weaver had just winded up an Army Service Center expected momentarily while Chance and Moser asked for to receive permission to report Saturday. Blue Paul's driver from Illinois and expected today. Meanwhile, nor Moser is on the Indians roster, but they are among 8 firemen invited to report to work at the varsity. Pick Delvio among the missing when the work began, but he injected during the drill and was in the uniform when the field within 10 miles to the arrival. On field with the place where Tibbetts, 4 coaches George Strickland, early win, Emil Varlo. Commanding instructor Al Rosen, the 3 of the Tribe Motor League managers John Blip on Portland, Bob Neiman in Charlestown, and Wild. Never to McKay and Ben Zentra, an Indian Chicago area scout. It was Vale's responsibility to check out the players as they walked around the park while they treaded the batting cage. Each man was required to take 60 turns of the ground with 3 laps equivalent at about 1 mile. One payload commanded considerable attention from the spectators and players like was for Chico. What type of person in this new heavyweight boxing champion? Cassius Clay. Are the sports writers like Curtin, Collin, Malone, Mount Baggett, referring to him as the Cassius in the Louisville lip? Is there another sign that handsome young man who would be the Sunday listed on last Tuesday? You'll get all the answers from Jim Brown and Sunday's playing dealer. The Browns' great fullback was a ringside commentator on radio. Last Tuesday night as a radio commentator. Jim was with play before and after the upset victory. He had his facts right from after the champion. This only will be a begin, and number 32 will be a regular contributor to Sunday playing dealer sports pages. His column will be cover a wide range of topics, including, of course, professional football. Brandon moves into the right infield off his finest year in the gridiron. He set 3 individual National Football League records and now has gained well over 6 miles rushing on pro gridirons. You'll find the man who hits the line with such software and punch at the typewriter.
Heading to the Kia President's Day sales event is back.
Augustin Mike Mitchell, who gained the first athletic fame at Cleveland's West High School and went on to play God Super Bowl for the 9 years in the Green Bay Packers, was one of 7 men named last night at Pro Football's Hall of Fame. To go up to be enshrined in Kansas' magnificent million-dollar building next September includes 2 other tremendous performers with ties to the Cleveland area. Roy Linkleman, who has started his career as a pro tackler in 1922 with the
Or get 0% APR for qualified
team when it switched to Cleveland for the 24th season. Link wound up to 13 years in his paid ranks with the Chicago Bears. George Trefton, the Iron Man center for the Bears from 1920 to 1932, was a line coach for the Cleveland Rams team, which won the National Football League championship in 1945. He then moved to Los Angeles with the club. Other new Hall of Famers in the group that included 2 blacks, 4 linemen, and 1 club founder are Ed Healy, tackler Rock Allen, and the Chicago Bears 1920-1932. Jimmy Kunzelman, halfback, coach and executive dedicated Rock Allen, Milwaukee, Detroit, Providence, Chicago Cardinals from 1920-1948. Clark Kinkle, fullback for the Green Bay Packers from 1932-1941. Arthur J. Rooney founded the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1933 and still owner of that team. All 7 men and living expect to be president when they have perpetual places to be honored and unveiled during ceremonies in connection with the annual Hall of Fame game. That exhibition in Kenton will pit the Rooney Steelers against the Baltimore Colts at Fawcett Field and to the Hall of Fame building. Rooney is the one named who did not play or organize football. Friendly Cigar Smoking Art is one of the best slack owners in the game and is a vital force in preserving for football during World War II. Mitchell, now at Tyler, Texas, was a 3-sport man at West, taking part in the basketball, track, and football. He spent 1921 as a freshman at Western Reserve, but switched the next year to the Penn State, where he helped make light horse Harry Wilson a great winner. As a senior, he gave up an almost sure All-American honors at the guard to shift to fullback Roy Grange Stein Mac for the New York Yankees in the American Football League. Recently organized Move on the Packers came to 1929 helped Green Bay to 3 straight world champions. during great coaching career, which began in 1938. He served at Iowa State, Texas A&M, and Baylor in Texas. Lyman is credited with inspiring complicated defensive linebacker play has been to shift in the first user successfully shift in slanted style. He's sparkling in 1921 and what is regarded as formidable Nebraska team effort. Then they performed in the 3 straight world championship clubs of Kansas Bulldogs 22 and 23 in the Cleveland squad next season. Lyman later to the Grange before joining the Bears. Still very active in his own insurance business, he lives in San Maria, California, suburb of Los Angeles. All the covers to the Hall of Fame were two-way performers. Trafton was one of the first centers of on defense, much like a modern linebacker. Philadelphia. Joe Kirkowicz, unexpected, was named head coach of the National Football League's Philadelphia Eagles last night. The 46-year-old Kirkowicz quit as coach of the alma mater Notre Dame after the 62 season, taking post in NFL supervisor officials. He returned to coaching was announced by Eagles owner Jerry Wellman. Kirkowicz signed the 4-year contract that's ended. Wellman's quest for a coach began last January 21st. Kirkowicz played at Notre Dame and professional with the Chicago Cardinals in the NFL. He served as line coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1946, moved to the University of San Francisco, assistant in 1947, and became head of the coaching squad there in 1948. He coached the Dons 4 years. 52, Kirkowicz took over as head coach of the Chicago Cardinals and joined the Washington Redskins as line coach in 1954. He became the Skins head man in August of that year. His Washington teams won 26, lost 33, and tied 1. Miami Beach. All he wanted is peace for myself and peace for the world. The newly crowned heavyweight boxing champion Cassius Clay said yesterday, revealing that he had become a member of the Black Muslims. My religion is Islam. 22-year-old Louisville fighter told the Associated Press, I believe Allah is God. I think this is true way to save the world, which is on fire with hate. He said in the main senseless study of the religion became convinced that the truth and the light. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mickey Mantle, a victim of crippling injuries that sidelined him most of the year. Last year, signed a number $100,000 baseball contract with the New York Yankees yesterday and set 150 games at his target. My leg feels greatly improved and I see no reason why I shouldn't be alright all season. The star fielder said the 32-year-old switch hitter received no cut in salary, although they played in only 65 games last year because of a bone fracture in the left foot we see while questioning the defense in Baltimore and an alien knee. He underwent an operation of the removal of the cartilage in the left knee last October 18th. The Yankee management feels that the player who has been done so much on the field and has developed such solid fan support should not be penalized for injuries. Said Ralph Hook, this club's new general manager. The Yankee star is a second-class paid major leaguer. William Mays in San Francisco signed for the estimated $100,000 last month. Washington, the Internal Revenue Service filed a clean stole him $2.7 million yesterday against former world heavyweight champion Sonny Liston and the two companies which helped promote the Liston Cassius Clay fight. The IRS is named Charles and Jolene listed at late out $867,800. A lien for $1,050,500 was filed against Intercontinental Promotions Incorporated and another act against Delaware Advertising and Management Agency Incorporated for $753,000. An IRS spokesman said the liens were filed in county court in Miami, Florida.
And it may take longer than usual for any police.
Such liens are filed to tie up funds pending the settlement of Texas claims.
Like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines.
The Plain Deal is joining with the
Medical or
AAU to promote gymnastics this year in an effort to strengthen future United States Olympic teams in the sport. Lake Erie Association and AAU is holding its annual gymnastics championship Sunday, March 8th at Albert Gymnasium at Western Reserve University. And the Plain Deal will award all the trophies and medals to the deserving contestants. Entries for both men and women in the novice, junior, and senior divisions close Monday. The minimum entry for women's 15 and for men is 16. Falcons invited to the champion's mission for adults will be 75 cents for both students, 50 cents, and for children 25 cents. All net profits go to the Olympic Committee, which is solely the need for the funds to send top athletes to the Dream Games in Tokyo later this year. Jason Cleveland was awarded the 6'5" Health, Physical Education, Recreation Convention as a result of the development and this year's delegates to here yesterday. Elected and then presided over to the next year's convention, and Ruth also chairman of the Women's Physical Education at Wittenberg University, George Kazaka, Department of Welfare head of the Cleveland Board of Education, will act as convention manager. Jay Hanlon, successful 34-year-old young Sanders Line high school football coach, was named new grid mentor at St. Edward last night. Kansas City, Charles O'Finley, owner of the Kansas City Athletics, flew back to Kansas City from Chicago last night for another round of negotiations leased on Municipal Stadium. The annual Command Media Center Boxing Show featured 15 bouts were held tonight at John Adams High School Gym at 3817 East 116th Street at 7:45. Iowa City Sham Schumann, named Iowa basketball coach 6 years ago when he was trained for, resigned yesterday, affected after what probably will be worst season. And the New York Yacht Club and the Royal Thames Yacht Club announced jointly yesterday that the America's Cup races will start September 15th off the Brenton Reef Flat at Newport, Rhode Island, on the best of 7 bases where they cross approximately 24.3 nautical miles. Okay, now the winner now. Here now, Dick Carter. Take away, Dick. Okay, thank you, Jim. Right now, our current conditions at 7 p.m. reports at Cleveland Hopkins Airport. 33 degrees on temperature with wind chill about 24 degrees and dew point about 26 degrees. Humidity 75%, barometer terminating 83 inches. Visibly 5 miles. Winds west now for about 13. Clear light snow showers. Around the region, it's 32 in Akron, Canton. It's 29 in Youngstown, 30 in Erie, 27 in Pittsburgh, 27 in Wheeling, 27 in Morgantown, 27 in Parkersburg, 34 in Columbus, light snow, 31 in Mansfield, 34 out in Detroit City, 31 in Detroit Metro and in Ann Arbor, 32 in Toledo and in Findlay and Lima, 30 in Dayton, 33 in Cincinnati, and 32 in Portsmouth, Ohio. Here.
There you go. Now, Free.
Okay, national summary forecast. Wall Spring Lake River covered much of the country. Today, snow was dumped on the Mid-Atlantic sections. Most sections of West Virginia reported 3 to 6 inches of new snow, and previously Kentucky and Tennessee reported similar depth. Snow fell over northern and western Virginia, most of Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania, and into extreme southern New England. Last night, Montefiore, West Virginia received 7 inches. To the west, occasional rain, mostly quite light, fell along the coastal area from San Francisco northward. The weather elsewhere over the country was dry with clear to partly cloudy skies over most sections. Southern Florida was a summery spot in the country with a summery 87 degrees in both Miami and
Good player. Phrase, you have 10 seconds.
West Palm Beach. Highs in the 30s were confined to the upper Atlantic states, and the Great Lakes region. The 40s and 50s were common elsewhere. And we got an 18 below is the low this morning at Old Town, Maine, and a 17 below reading this morning in Lebanon, New Hampshire. Here the two lows on the map. Here.
Just weren't there for you. So we have to look in here and see what we.
Okay, let's take a look at our Cleveland area forecast for tonight. Partly and not so cold tonight. Lower around 24 degrees. Most of the time, slowly rising temperature tomorrow. Northern Ohio. Most cloudy tonight with a chance of light snow tonight. Low tonight, 24 degrees, and Lake Erie temperature 33 degrees. 7 in Central Ohio. Considerable cloudiness mostly fair tonight with little temperature change. For Western Pennsylvania, cloudy not so cold tonight with a chance of light snow this afternoon. And Northern Panhandle of West Virginia, most cloudy tonight and chance of few snow flurries. And that's great for the W for the Eyewitness News on Channel 3 on this February 28th, 1964 on a Friday. I'm Bill Jones and alongside Dick Goddard and Jim Grayson. You have a good evening, and we'll be back for Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. Have a good evening.